I did not vote for Donald Trump. I wasn't really wrong about Donald Trump on character, but whatever damage he was going to do has already been done. Like, I've been very, very clear on my feelings about Donald Trump's character. I have serious reservations, to say the least. Sometimes he hits a baby, and it is far less satisfying. Trump being unable to focus and willing to jump on any rake is not just immoral, it is very often stupid and counterproductive. I mean, you know my opinion on this. Everybody knows, okay, deep down in the cockles of your heart, no matter how much you love Trump, everybody knows. I think it's important, deeply important, for conservatives to criticize Trump when he requires it. When Trump does something bad, we should say it out loud. We shouldn't hide that. And that's why I've been calling balls and strikes on Trump as a president since the day he was elected. But 2020 is not 2016. Everything that is bad about Trump is already part of the system. It's already part of the new normal, for better or for worse. If you vote for Trump, you are evil. Your friends should stop talking to you. You should stop talking to your own parents. Maybe you should be fired. Certainly, people should stop treating you like a human being. But if you care about the Constitution and economic freedom and the security of the United States, you really don't have a whole hell of a lot of choice. You should vote for Joe Biden and a Democratic Party. Sam in Massachusetts, you're on the Ben Shapiro Show. Go for it, Sam.
Hey, Ben, I'm a new subscriber, and I want to thank you for everything you do.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so I was just wondering today what you think on the possibility of, if we do have a Joe Biden presidency, what good do you think will come out of it?
I think that things calm down in the country a little bit, mainly because the Democrats will have won, so the Democrats don't go quite as nuts. And for Republicans, while people would be very ticked if Trump didn't win, I think that it's hard to get quite as ticked about Biden winning. Were to win, he presumably would have some more coattails. He doesn't alienate moderates and particularly suburban women in the same way that Bernie does. Remember, Trump has some vulnerabilities. His vulnerabilities particularly are with minority communities and with young people and with suburban women. Biden is much more, I would say, durable with minority audiences, with suburban women. He's significantly more durable. With young people, he doesn't do anything. But young people are hard to hang your hat on. So this is why Biden is a stronger candidate in a general election than Trump. Donald Trump is fun to watch. He bashes the establishment, and they totally deserve it. He's the biggest man in the race. He's the roughest, toughest bastard out there, and he tells it just like it is. Except he doesn't, because as entertaining as Donald Trump is a liar. Who does he lie to? First, evangelicals. Trump says he loves the evangelicals, that the Bible is his favorite book. It's even better than Art of the Deal. Forget the fact Trump couldn't even name his favorite Bible verse. Focus in on the fact that Trump said he never asks for God's forgiveness. Here are just some of the things Trump isn't repenting for. Bragging about his, quote, experiences with women, often seemingly very happily married and important women. Cheating on his first wife, Ivana, after considering asking her for an open marriage. Supporting partial birth abortion until about 5 minutes ago. Refusing to label abortion murder and stating that Planned Parenthood does terrific work. Writing, quote, oftentimes when I was sleeping with one of the top women in the world, I would say to myself, thinking about me as a boy from Queens, can you believe what I am getting? Saying, quote, it doesn't really matter what they write as long as you've got a young and a beautiful piece of ass. Stating, quote, if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. Telling a friend, according to New York Magazine, quote, you have to treat women like opposing a constitutional amendment to end same-sex marriage, saying he won't take moral sides between Israel and the Palestinians. And, of course, Trump-branded casinos actually contain strip clubs, all of which begs the question, have evangelicals ever supported an unrepentant, pro-Planned Parenthood, adulterous strip club owner before? Next, conservatives. Trump hasn't been consistently conservative on a single policy position in his entire career. He may be talking conservative policy now, but what reasons do you have to trust him? Trump says now he's the most hardcore candidate on immigration, but in 2012, he criticized Mitt Romney for being too harsh on illegal immigration. Mitt Romney. Trump also hired illegals at his golf courses and to build his famous Trump Tower. Trump says now he'd ban Muslim immigration to the United States, but he originally said he would take in Syrian refugees. Trump is super pro-Second Amendment now, but back in 2000, he supported the assault weapons ban. Trump says he isn't for Obamacare, but then he repeatedly and consistently praises the socialist British and Canadian and Scottish healthcare systems. Trump supported Obama's stimulus package and TARP and the auto bailouts. He backs campaign finance reform. He says the government should cap executive pay. Trump boasts that he often bribed public officials, but he wants you to believe He'll be the one to stop cronyism. Trump says he'll appoint great justices, but he named his pro-partial birth abortion sister as a possible nominee. Trump only stopped giving money to Democrats in 2011, 3 years into the Obama administration, just about the time he was starting to talk about running for president. Between 1989 and 2010, Trump gave more money to Democrats than Republicans. He gave money to John Kerry and Teddy Kennedy and Harry Reid and, yes, Hillary Clinton. And just 2 weeks ago, Trump said, quote, "I'm very capable of changing to anything I want to change to." Is this someone conservatives should trust? Finally, Trump's lying to the "we want a winner" folks. Trump says he wins, and he wins, and he wins. He's a great businessman, a magnificent success. Here is a quick list of Trump's business failures. Trump the game, Trump vodka, Trump Airlines, Trump Mortgage, Trump Ice, Trump Magazine, Trump Steaks, GoTrump.com, and of course the New Jersey Generals. He's about to be deposed for his involvement in the alleged scam Trump University, where plaintiffs say they were defrauded out of as much as 60 grand on the promise of teaching how to get rich in real estate. Then there's Trump's Taj Mahal, which declared bankruptcy in Atlantic City in 1991 after racking up $3 billion in debt. Trump had to give up half his stake. Trump's Plaza Hotel declared bankruptcy in 1992 after racking up $550 million in debt. He was essentially ousted from management. Trump Hotels and Casinos Resorts declared bankruptcy in 2004 after racking up $1.8 billion in debt. Trump gave up about half of his share in that company. Trump Entertainment Resorts declared bankruptcy in 2009 when it missed a $53 million interest payment. Trump had to resign as chairman. Unfortunately, America can't declare bankruptcy and just fire Trump if he fails as president. But what about Trump's successes? Didn't he make his own way? Well, turns out that Trump's daddy was a New York real estate tycoon who loaned the Donald $1 million to get him started, about $6 million of today's dollars. That wasn't the only loan Trump got from daddy either. Trump later ran his daddy's company. When he started running it in 1974, his share of the company is reported to have been worth about $40 million. In 1982, Forbes estimated Trump was worth $200 million. Today, they say he's worth somewhere between $3 and $4 billion. Proof of his keen business skills. Except, it's actually less than he would have made if he just liquidated all of that, put all the money in the stock market, and hung out at the casino strip clubs instead. Of course, Trump, who absolutely never, ever exaggerates about anything, particularly his successes, he says he's worth $9 billion. We don't really know because Trump, like Presidents Obama and Hillary Clinton, doesn't like to release his documents. The Donald still hasn't presented his actual tax returns. So, is Trump a big winner? Or is he a spoiled brat who grew up in the lap of luxury, had his daddy sign his checks, and then bragged about how he is a huge winner? Trump's three biggest crowds are evangelicals, conservatives, and he's a winner voters. Trump is lying to all of them. Stop buying the lies.